Tenryu-ji Temple, a World Heritage Site, a garden where mountains, water, and sky come together like a single painting. It feels like another world. But this view is more than just beautiful. This is the garden that holds Kyoto's greatest drama, prayers that calmed war and soothed people's hearts. From them, trade routes that connected nations were born. Here lies a secret passed down for more than 700 years. Welcome to Tenryu-ji. In spring, the mountains of Arashiyama turn pink with blossoms. In autumn, they blaze with gold and crimson. In ancient times, nobles drifted in boats, composing poetry, listening to music, and savoring food and drink with the changing seasons. This vision was celebrated as blossoming Arashiyama, and the place became forever remembered in poetry. Flowers bloom, then scatter, a fleeting beauty, a fragile moment. A mirror of life's constant change. At the heart of it stands Togetsu-kyo Bridge. Its name was given by an emperor who saw the moon's reflection on the river one night and said it looked as though the moon itself was crossing the bridge. Thus came the name, Crossing Moon Bridge. The moon is a symbol of eternity, of purity, of the other world. A bridge linking this life and the next. That is Togetsu-kyo. Cross the bridge, pass through the lively street, and the World Heritage Site, Tenryu-ji, appears. Visitors enter through the south gate, walk the gardens, and leave through the north gate, which flows naturally into the famous bamboo grove. It is here, down this quiet approach, that a turbulent story began more than 600 years ago. Tenryu-ji was founded in 1339. At that time, emperors and warriors were in fierce conflict. The emperor sought reform, rearranging power, correcting the flow of taxes. But that threatened the wealth of the samurai, and clashes broke out. A new warrior government rose. Yet it chose to honor the late emperor. Even an enemy deserved respect, and with that gesture, they hoped to restore peace. This became the beginning of Tenryu-ji. At the temple's heart lies the Sogenchi Garden, designed by the Zen monk Musa Soseki. He was admired not only as a spiritual leader, but also as a master of poetry, calligraphy, and painting. Here, the ridges of Arashiyama and Mount Kamiyama are drawn into the scene, balanced with ponds, stones, and plantings. A vision where nature and garden merge into one great painting. That was his art. In one corner lies a small waterfall. Before it, the carp stone. It recalls a Chinese legend. A carp that climbs a raging waterfall becomes a dragon, a symbol of perseverance rewarded. But in Tenryuji's garden, the carp is shown mid-climb, not yet a dragon. The lesson: it is not perfection or enlightenment that is precious, but the struggle and growth along the way. This is the heart of Zen teaching. The carp in progress, the spirit of endless challenge. Sogenchi Garden is not only for viewing. In spring, petals drift across the water. In summer, green reflections ripple in the breeze. In autumn, fallen leaves float gently. In winter, the silence deepens with snow. Here, Zen speaks its truth. All things must change. Sitting in the wooden corridor, listening to the rustle of bamboo, a quiet beyond words brings peace to the heart. A moment when you feel close to the landscape, when simply being here is enough. In time, the temple's prayers reached the sea. The Tenryu-ji ships, official trade vessels, set sail for China. They carried copper, swords, and sulfur, and returned with silk, ceramics, and books of learning. These voyages not only supported the temple, but also reopened the sea route to the continent. Tenryu-ji was a place of prayer, but also a hub of diplomacy and trade. Musa Soseki left his mark across Kyoto. One of his masterpieces is Saihoji, better known as the Moss Temple. Its grounds, blanketed in soft green moss, create a living vision of harmony with nature. For this, it is often called the origin of Japanese gardens. Inside the Dharma Hall, where monks once spoke gently to the people, a great dragon spreads across the ceiling. Wherever you stand, its gaze meets yours. the dragon, guardian against fire, master of water. A modern artist revived a timeless symbol with the hope of protecting Tenryu-ji, so often struck by fire. The hojao, the abbot's quarters. Wide rooms opening onto the garden, designed to invite in wind and light. The sound of boiling water, the fragrance of tea, green framed in the window, white steam rising softly, sunlight falling square on tatami mats, all of it easing the heart. When first built, Tenryuji's grounds spanned even Arashiyama and Togetsukyo Bridge, but fires and the passage of time reduced it to less than 1/10 its size. Even so, the Sogenchi Garden remains intact, a miracle of preservation through centuries. It is the temple's greatest treasure. Arashiyama has long been a place for cherry blossoms. In full bloom, the petals cover the mountains like clouds. When the wind blows, blossoms dance in the air, and petals drift across the river. This cycle, blooming, then scattering, has sustained the name Blossoming Arashiyama, a beauty both radiant and fleeting. The classic sightseeing route through Arashiyama leads from Togetsukyo Bridge into the gardens of Tenryu-ji, through the bamboo grove, and finally to Nonomiya Shrine. Nonomiya Shrine was once the place where imperial princesses purified themselves before serving at Ise Grand Shrine, Japan's most sacred sanctuary. Because of this, it is now beloved as a shrine for love and safe childbirth. The tradition comes from those princesses' prayers. May I be blessed with a child. Even today, people quietly entrust their wishes here. Arashiyama and Tenryuji. To walk here is not only to enjoy the scenery, it is to feel 700 years of history and thought. When you visit Kyoto, take this story with you.